The world watched with bated breath in May 2025. Nuclear-armed neighbors, India and Pakistan, locked horns in a tense standoff. The specter of nuclear war, a chilling possibility, loomed large. A terrorist attack in India attributed to Pakistan-based militants had ignited the crisis. India retaliated and the situation escalated rapidly. Military strikes and counterstrikes ensued, both sides traded accusations and tensions soared. The world feared the worst. A miscalculation, a misstep, could have had catastrophic consequences. The crisis underscored the fragility of peace in South Asia. The recent standoff, though diffused, serves as a stark reminder. The India-Pakistan rivalry remains one of the most dangerous conflicts on the planet. It is a conflict where history, religion, and ideology collide. And at the heart of it all is the unresolved issue of Kashmir. Both India and Pakistan possess nuclear weapons. They have conducted numerous tests, showcasing their destructive capabilities. India, the larger of the two, has a more diverse arsenal. It includes ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, and aircraft capable of delivering nuclear payloads. Pakistan, for its part, has focused on developing tactical nuclear weapons. These smaller, battlefield-ready weapons are designed to counter India's conventional military superiority. This strategy, however, raises concerns about a lower threshold for nuclear use. The nuclear arsenals of India and Pakistan are a source of constant concern for the international community. The risk of an accidental or unauthorized launch is a real and present danger. Moreover, the possibility of nuclear materials falling into the wrong hands, such as terrorist organizations, cannot be ignored. As the crisis unfolded, the international community scrambled to avert disaster. The stakes were incredibly high, with the potential for widespread conflict looming over the region. Diplomatic channels were buzzing with activity, as leaders from around the world sought to find a peaceful resolution. The United States, recognizing the gravity of the situation, played a pivotal role in mediating a ceasefire. American diplomats worked tirelessly, engaging in round-the-clock negotiations to bring the warring parties to the table. The U.S. military also provided strategic insights to ensure that the ceasefire would hold. Then U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, along with Vice President J.D. Vance, engaged in intense diplomacy. They met with leaders from both sides, emphasizing the importance of peace and stability in the region. Their efforts were crucial in de-escalating the situation. They urged both sides to exercise restraint and step back from the brink. The message was clear: further aggression would only lead to more suffering and chaos. The international community watched closely, hoping for a breakthrough. President Trump, in a televised address, claimed that the U.S. had averted a nuclear conflict. He praised the efforts of his diplomatic team and assured the nation that peace was within reach. His speech was aimed at reassuring both the American public and the international community. While the exact details of the negotiations remain unclear, the U.S. intervention undoubtedly played a crucial role in preventing further escalation. Behind-the-scenes diplomacy was intense, with many confidential discussions and strategic decisions being made. The U.S. has long been involved in trying to mediate the India-Pakistan conflict, with mixed results. Over the years, American diplomats have made numerous attempts to bring peace to the region, often facing significant challenges. The U.S. has a complex relationship with both countries. It has to balance its strategic interests with the need to maintain good relations with both India and Pakistan. This delicate balancing act requires careful diplomacy and a deep understanding of regional dynamics. It sees India as a key partner in the Indo-Pacific region, while Pakistan has been a long-standing ally in the fight against terrorism. The U.S. continues to navigate these complex relationships, striving to promote peace and stability in South Asia. During the standoff, both India and Pakistan engaged in military posturing. India deployed warships to the Arabian Sea and conducted air exercises near the border. Pakistan responded by test-firing ballistic missiles and putting its forces on high alert. This dangerous game of brinkmanship heightened tensions and increased the risk of miscalculation. Pakistan's decision to convene its National Command Authority, the body that oversees its nuclear arsenal, sent a particularly chilling message. It suggested that Pakistan was seriously considering the nuclear option. Military posturing is a common feature of the India-Pakistan rivalry. Both countries regularly conduct military exercises near the border, often with the aim of sending a message to the other side. This behavior, however, can be dangerous and counterproductive. Section 5. Shifting doctrines. India and Pakistan have different nuclear doctrines, which adds to the complexity of the situation. These differences are not just academic, they have real-world implications for regional and global security. India officially adheres to a no-first-use policy, meaning that it will not be the first to use nuclear weapons in a conflict. This policy is intended to reduce the risk of a nuclear exchange and to promote stability in the region. However, there have been signs of ambiguity in recent years. Some analysts believe that India's stance might be evolving in response to changing security dynamics. Some Indian officials have hinted that India's no-first-use policy is not set in stone and could be revisited depending on the circumstances. This has led to debates within the country and concerns among its neighbors. Pakistan, on the other hand, has refused to adopt a no-first-use policy. Its leadership argues that maintaining the option to use nuclear weapons first is essential for its national security. It argues that it needs to maintain the option of using nuclear weapons first to deter a conventional attack by India. This stance is rooted in Pakistan's perception of its conventional military inferiority compared to India. Pakistan's ambiguous nuclear doctrine is a source of concern for the international community. The lack of a clear policy increases the risk of miscalculation or accidental escalation. The lack of a clear and consistent policy increases the risk of miscalculation or accident. This uncertainty can lead to heightened tensions and instability in the region. It also raises questions about Pakistan's commitment to responsible nuclear behavior. The international community continues to urge both nations to engage in dialogue and take steps towards reducing nuclear risks. Section 6. The Kashmir Conundrum. The recent standoff cannot be viewed in isolation. It is inextricably linked to the long-standing Kashmir conflict, the root cause of the India-Pakistan rivalry. Kashmir, a Muslim-majority region claimed by both India and Pakistan, has been a flashpoint for over 7 decades. The two countries have fought 2 wars over Kashmir, and there have been numerous smaller conflicts and skirmishes. The unresolved Kashmir dispute continues to poison relations between India and Pakistan. It fuels distrust, suspicion, and hostility. The international community has long recognized the need for a peaceful resolution to the Kashmir conflict. However, despite numerous attempts at mediation, a lasting solution remains elusive. The dispute is further complicated by the involvement of non-state actors, including terrorist groups. Section 7. The Perils of Brinkmanship. The May 2025 standoff between India and Pakistan highlights the perils of brinkmanship in a nuclear-armed world. This tense confrontation brought the two nations to the brink of war, showcasing the fragile nature of peace in the region. The willingness of both countries to engage in risky military posturing and escalate tensions is deeply concerning. Such actions not only endanger the lives of millions, but also destabilize the entire region, creating a ripple effect that can be felt globally. It underscores the need for greater dialogue, confidence-building measures, and conflict resolution mechanisms. Diplomatic efforts must be intensified to prevent such dangerous escalations in the future. The international community must remain actively engaged in efforts to promote peace and stability in South Asia. Global leaders and organizations have a crucial role to play in mediating and facilitating constructive dialogue between the two nations. This includes encouraging India and Pakistan to return to the negotiating table, where they can address their differences through peaceful means rather than through military might. Addressing the underlying causes of tension such as territorial disputes and political grievances, which have long fueled animosity between the two countries, and promoting nuclear risk reduction measures. Efforts to reduce the nuclear arsenals of both nations and implement strict control measures are essential to prevent accidental or intentional nuclear conflict. The standoff also serves as a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of nuclear war. The potential for catastrophic loss of life and environmental destruction cannot be overstated. A nuclear exchange between India and Pakistan would result in millions of deaths and have catastrophic global repercussions. The humanitarian crisis that would follow is unimaginable, with long-lasting impacts on health, infrastructure, and the environment. It is a scenario that must never be allowed to happen. The world must work together to ensure that peace prevails and that the horrors of nuclear war remain a distant nightmare. Section 8. The international community's role. The international community has a vital role to play in preventing a nuclear catastrophe in South Asia. This includes providing diplomatic support for dialogue between India and Pakistan, promoting confidence-building measures, and encouraging both countries to adopt responsible nuclear policies. The United Nations, in particular, has a critical role to play in mediating the Kashmir dispute and promoting regional stability. The international community must also work to address the threat of nuclear terrorism. This includes securing nuclear materials, strengthening border controls, and combating the proliferation of nuclear weapons technology. The international community must send a clear and unambiguous message to India and Pakistan. The use of nuclear weapons is unacceptable under any circumstances. The world cannot afford to stand by while two nuclear-armed neighbors teeter on the brink of war. Section 9. The Path Forward. The path forward for India and Pakistan is clear. Both countries must abandon the path of confrontation and embrace the path of dialogue and diplomacy. They must address the root causes of their rivalry, starting with the Kashmir dispute, and they must take concrete steps to reduce the risk of nuclear war. This will require leadership, political will, and a genuine commitment to peace. The alternative, continued conflict, instability, and the ever-present threat of nuclear war, is simply unacceptable. The future of South Asia, and indeed the world, may depend on it.